All right. Well, let me give you guys an update on my health. I'm feeling a little bit better. Today I was I was really battling an upset stomach all day, and I've just been feeling nauseous all day. I just have this horrible taste in my mouth, and it's just really, it's more annoying than anything. But I'm definitely starting to get better. I almost didn't do an episode today, but I didn't want to do that to you guys. You guys deserve better than that. And as long as I'm able to make the time to do these episodes and I have the ability to speak and my technology is working, you guys will be getting episodes. Okay, so let's get right into it. Okay, so recently, the CDC says that 1 in 5 adolescents and 1 in 4 young adults have prediabetes. And this was from the 2nd. And, it's really, I hate seeing this stuff, man. There should be no reason that a preteen, or I should say an adolescent or young adult, to have prediabetes. That just shouldn't be. Because when you are young, physically, you're in the prime of your life. Okay, financially, you're still getting it together. You're still figuring out life. There are certain things that you are still figuring out, and you haven't yet reached your peak. But when you are young, your physique should be in its prime. There's just no excuse. We have to fix this. And I probably talk about this obesity epidemic maybe every 50 episodes. I haven't talked about it in a while. But seriously, man, our society and our workforce is only as strong as the people. And if we are too big and too fat and too sedentary to be useful, it's going to affect us. Like we just have to fix this. I'm going to say this. And let me say this, first of all. Quit looking to the government. To make this to give you the solution to this. Quit doing that. Don't look for that. Okay? Because I don't want to say that it's the government's fault that you're fat now, but the government is the one that created the food pyramid a while ago, and it really wasn't healthy at all. It really wasn't. But I'm gonna say this, man. It is on moms and dads all around the country. Focus on the smallest unit of society is the family. And it is up to the mother and the father of families to make sure that the children are healthy. Firstly, the father has to be healthy, the mother has to be healthy, they've got to be in shape, those kind of things. You have to set the example for your children. Okay, research, what things should I eat? What things should I not eat? How much should I be eating? How much should I not be eating? When should we be eating? When should we not be eating? You need to be looking at those things. This problem isn't getting better, it's getting worse. First, I am not obese, I'm not a pre-diabetic, I'm not any of that. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have elevated blood sugar levels. But, there are some people that I see, like I go to college, and there are sometimes, there are field trips, and they come on campus and they're walking around, and I see some kids, and they're huge. Like they're huge. It's like, sometimes I almost want to ask, what happened to you or what's wrong with you? How did you get that big? And I'm talking 8, 9, 10-year-olds. And they're huge. And it's just horrible. Let's get into this article. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention expressed concern on Monday as it released figures that show a significant portion of young Americans are at a high risk of developing type 2 diabetes. According to CDC findings, 1 in 4 young adults aged 19 to 34 and 1 in 5 adolescents aged 12 to 18 suffer from prediabetes. Those with prediabetes have elevated blood sugar levels but have not reached a threshold to be considered diabetic. The report from the CDC stated that the overweight young people were significantly more likely to have prediabetes. The report found that 25.7% of overweight adolescents had elevated blood sugar levels compared to 16.4% of adolescents of normal weight. Those figures were even pronounced among young adults. 36.6% of overweight young adults were pre-diabetic compared to 16.6% of young adults with a normal weight. I'm going to say this again. I'm just going to put an age on this. If you are under the age of 35, you should not have these health problems. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. See, here's the thing. If you're 60, 70, 80, it makes more sense. We can't be young people. Gen Z, let me say this. Millennials and Gen Z, we are the future. We're the future. We are millennials and Gen Z. We are the first generations in a long, I think it's either a very long time or I actually think it's ever that we are not expected to live as long as our parents. That is shameful. It's shameful. We cannot be doing that to ourselves. This is the great... See, here's the thing. America is a beautiful nation. It is the greatest country to ever exist in the history of ever. But what comes along with that is America, we have an... I don't want to say an overabundance problem, but we do have overabundance. And one of the symptoms of overabundance is that we will eat too much. If you go to places like Europe, countries in Europe like France, England, Italy, you have certain places where the portions that they give, if an American who's never been outside of America goes there, they'll be like, where's all of my food? Americans, we eat a lot in one serving. I mean, we eat a tremendous amount. I mean, if you had people from those nations come here and they had a meal here, they'd probably throw up. Because they'd be like, you're not about to eat all of this right now. That's probably what they would think. And that's what happens. I mean, we eat so much, and it is not good for us. So, we have to take it upon ourselves. Quit looking to the government to fix this problem, okay? Because we all know big government is not the answer. Because we all know that whenever the government gets involved in something, the problem gets worse. So, we have to take it upon ourselves. As you guys know, I don't have children or family yet, but one of the things that will be extremely important to me is keeping my family and I healthy. That's one of the number one things that I'll be looking to do. Because it is so important. Well, I got to say this. If I can't do anything else, if I can't teach my kids anything else, I'm going to teach them how to be in shape. And how to take care of their bodies. If they don't learn anything else from me and their mother, that's going to be the thing that they learn from me. Because it's so crucial to keep your body in shape. Your body is like a car. And you only get one of these cars in your entire life. You have to take care of it. You only get one. And there's nothing else, there's nothing that you can do about it. You either take care of it, or you don't take care of it, and you suffer the consequences later. When I see these people, who are young, doing drugs and all of that stuff, I don't get it because I just understand we're not going to be young forever. We're not going to, right now I'm 20. One day I'm going to be 30. One day I may get to 40. I may get to 50. I may get to 60. I don't want to be struggling at that age. You don't want that to be happening. You just have to take care of your body. You only get one, and if we don't take care of our bodies, you know what? I talked about the whole workforce thing. What it does, and you guys may laugh at this, but it is true. Okay, if we don't take care of this problem, it's gonna be like WALL-E. The workforce will be replaced with robots, and there will be less jobs to go around because everyone's too big, fat, and unhealthy to go to work. If there's ever time we should think about getting it together, it's now. We see robots in the workplace, places like Amazon, just different places where robots and humans work together. You have to take care of yourself. That's all you can do. And here's the thing, if you don't do it, who will? I mean, find a family activity that you guys all find fun, that you all look forward to doing, that you will do on a regular, consistent basis. Walking, hiking, swimming, jogging, going to the park, things like that. Have some fun. Get some good exercise. Sweat. Go on a picnic and eat. Some nice healthy sandwiches. Do something. We have to fix this problem. We have to about face on this problem. We have to. There's no other. I mean, it's shameful with all the technology that we have and all the knowledge that we have on how to improve our bodies, what to eat, what not to eat. we should not have these problems. Yes, we do have fast food and stuff like that, and those places have popped up recently. But see, here's the thing. Even if you do eat fast food, even if you do that, you can still move around. You can still not have a sedentary lifestyle. You can still have an active lifestyle. And you won't be the best version of yourself, but you will be much better. Okay, guys, quit sitting up and playing video games all night. Okay, that's not really helpful. Quit watching so much TV. If you're not going to do anything productive, just go to bed. Your body needs sleep. But we've got to get on top of this problem. We have to. We do not have a choice. If we don't, welcome to Wall-E. You can laugh, but we're seeing it now more than ever. In the history of the world, we are now seeing it, where there are legitimate robots in the workplace that are replacing jobs. If you want to keep your job, if you want to provide for yourself, if you want to provide for your family, get your body together. Get it together. We can't keep going down this road. Okay. It just bothers me because we have too much knowledge and we have too much ability to fix this issue. And it just bothers me. It sickens me how we just have this situation, and it's like we're better than this. There's no reason we should be living, that we're not expected to live at least as long as our parents, but we are expected to live shorter than our parents. It's just ridiculous. All right. It really just hurts my head to even think about. It's not really helping me at all. So let me go on and get to this Dwyane Wade story. Okay. Dwyane Wade fires back at trolls criticizing his 12-year-old in Thanksgiving family photo. Gabrielle Union's husband, Dwyane Wade, took to Twitter on Saturday to respond to some post-Thanksgiving hate over a family photo she shared last week on Instagram. The photo shows Union posing alongside Wade, their daughter Kavia, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Wade's son Zion, who sports long fingernails and a crop top. So he's a crossdresser. I've seen some post-Thanksgiving hate on social media about my family photo. Stupidity is a part of this world we live in, so I get it. But here's the thing. I've been chosen to lead my family, not y'all. So we will continue to be us and support each other with pride, love, and a smile. The retired Miami Heat star wrote. Wade received numerous responses from other Twitter users who praised the couple for supporting their children. One user wrote, IDK if at Dwyane Wade and at It's Gabrielle Union know how powerful and moving it is that they're embracing their son's individuality. Damn it, I'm crying. In our community, being given autonomy over your body, beliefs, image, and statements as a child isn't a thing. That child is free and happy. This is from Dwyane Wade. As a parent, my only goal is that my kids feel that I see them, love them, and support them. Which I will say this. He does have a point. Now, you shouldn't, overall, in a very broad statement, that's true. Because here's the thing, parents, parents, no one's gonna care. No one's gonna care about your kids as much as, no adult is gonna care about your kids as much as you will. Your kids will care about themselves more than anything. More than anyone else will care about them. But parents, you are the guardian, you're the gatekeeper. You are the first support system that they have. And he's I think he makes a good point. It's not the first time the couple has drawn criticism from trolls online. In October, Wade shared a photo of Union, Kavya, and Zion on social media, labeling the image "my girls." One user then reposted the shot with the caption, "What y'all think about this?" "Looks like love to me," Union responded. "I truly hope that everyone gets the love, support, and hugs they deserve. Also, Kav ain't with the dumb shit. Peace and blessings, good people." That's all that's in the article. I don't really have too much to say about this. But, sometimes I do think about, what if my son turned out to be gay? Well, I gotta be honest, I'd be devastated. Because I'm not gonna be one of those people who would be like, oh yeah, I'd totally just support it. Oh no. At the very first sign, I should say this, when he tells me, or when I'd probably suspect it first, I would be devastated. Would I still love him? I would. But I'd be like, well, doggone it, this sucks. Now you guys can say that's homophobic. I personally don't care. But I will say this. I didn't know that Zion was a crossdresser. I didn't know that. I knew he was gay. Because he and his mother, his stepmom I should say, went to the, what's that thing called? Oh, the gay pride parade. And, they went there. And, that's just what happened. They just, he went there. And, yeah. But I didn't know that he was a crossdresser. I think... Now, I will say this. People have the right to give their own opinion. I say this. If you have something to say, I should say this. Let me start with posting. Okay? If you're gonna post something, you have to be able to take whatever's going to come with it. You cannot pick and choose what you hear. It doesn't work that way. Okay? People will feel a certain way. People will feel, they may feel offended, they may feel hurt, but it's important to understand that when you post something, you have to be able to take the good comments, the neutral comments, along with the negative comments. See, there are people who say, oh my God, if you have nothing good to say, don't say anything at all. That's stupid. Because sometimes you have to hear the negative things. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it'll save your life. Sometimes it'll save your career. You should listen to your critics. Because they give you a different perspective that you may not want to hear. It can be great to hear things that that you wouldn't come up with on your own. And this, this is huge. But, I will say this. He said stupidity is a part of the world we live in, so I get it. This isn't, I wouldn't say it's stupidity. See, here's the thing. The problem with this, I shouldn't say the problem with this article, but this article does not include this article doesn't include any of the tweets, or I should say any of the comments that were made about the photo. It doesn't. So it's kind of interesting. So we don't really know what he's saying is stupid. See, just because someone says something that you don't like doesn't mean that it's stupid. And I get it. Dwyane Wade he's Zion's father, and you're naturally going to be protective of your kids. You're naturally going to be protective of your family. I get it. But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that what someone is saying or what someone is doing is indeed stupid. But that's what we have to look at. Let me ask you guys this. Do you think it's, how can I let me ask the basic question. I want you guys to be honest with yourself. Don't give the politically correct answer. The first answer that you have within you, right when I say this question, that's your true answer. Not the one that you come up with, it's the one that you feel immediately in your heart. If your child came out as anything other than straight, how would you feel? Just think about that. I don't know what you guys answered. I personally believe that most of you would be, a little bit taken aback, possibly a little bit upset. I do believe all of you would still love your children, but yeah, I mean, but I'm looking at this picture. of whatchamacallit, Zion. He really looks like his dad. But anyway, just think about that. And I'm just going to go to the next story because that's really all I have to say about Dwyane Wade. Yeah. So, by the way, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Gabrielle Union, I think she's like a decade older than Dwyane Wade, which is just really amazing to me. Let me fact check this. Gabrielle Union. Let me see. She's 47. Dwyane Wade she's 47. Dwyane Wade, yeah, he's 37. That's amazing. I mean, for a man to marry a woman 10 years older, that woman has to really be something. Now, would I do that? Oh, absolutely not. No chance. But I do think it's interesting. All right, so that is that story. Okay, now on to this last story. Former NFL player on potential youth football ban. Let parents make decisions, not legislators. Former NFL offensive lineman Chris Valletta said Monday that youth football is good for a child's character and development and that parents, not politicians, should decide whether their child plays. What's important is to play the game safely and follow the right model, like the USA football model, to let parents make the decisions. Take it out of the legislators on what decisions we should make as parents. I could pretty much stop reading right there. He's spot on. Listen, politicians should not have anything to do, or I should say very, very little to do with your personal life. And, what your family does and how you conduct your family life. This is the point of government. At a very basic level. Government is it's like a picture frame. The frame is just supposed to edge out the picture. It's just supposed to protect the picture. That's it. It's supposed to kind of make it, kind of look nice, but it does not actually affect the picture. All right? So, you do that. Then, you actually have people who, they do their thing. And the picture is what you decide to fill, is what you decide to do with your life. It's what you decide to do with your family. And that's it. Politicians should not be banning football. No. It should not be. It shouldn't be that way. It is up to parents and it is up to children to have healthy discussions on, the child comes and says, Mom, Dad, I would like to play football. And personally, well, let me say this. Let me start with myself. I'm sitting in, me and my wife are in the bedroom. We're just sitting there. We're talking. My son comes in and he says, Dad, Mom, can I talk to you? You say, yeah, sure. And he says, okay, I really want to play football. My wife and I look at each other. And we probably will have had this discussion before on if we want him to play football. But personally, I would say, I would want my son to play football. I would educate him on the risks, the dangers, as well as the good sides of football as well. I've never played organized football myself, but there are pros and there are cons. So me and my wife would look at each other and we'd say, okay, son. And we'd say, why do you want to play football? We would wait for his response. And then we'd say, okay, have you thought about any other sports? We'd wait for his response. And then, we would say, okay, well, let us think about it. And let me and your mother talk it over. It is not up to politicians to prevent my son from playing football. It's not up to them. They don't get a choice in this. It is not their decision to make. It isn't. Let me get back into the article. The former New Orleans Saint said that tackle football teaches competitiveness and that the football players' bodies at a young age are not developed and moving fast enough to cause major damage to other players. New York lawmakers are considering a ban on tackle football for children 12 and younger. The New York Post reported in October. Similar legislation has been proposed in several other states, including Massachusetts, as parents have grown more concerned about the risk of brain injury. It has to be understood. A lot of this banning action, a lot of this attack on football, It's a, how can I put this? It's rooted in ignorance. Your child is safer playing football than they are skating. Here's why. When your child skates, it is unsupervised. They're just doing it with their peers. Okay? There are no adults, and they're just kind of doing their own thing. They're trying things that they've never tried before, and they are at a huge risk of hurting themselves. With football, okay, it is supervised. There are, certified coaches who know what they're doing, and they are being instructed on how to play the game correctly, how to tackle, how to run up the field, how to look up the field, all those components that are involved in the game of football. Seriously. Just supervision alone makes all the difference. Now, this number is sad right here. Since 2008, youth football participation has dropped 38% for children ages 6 to 12. 38%. That is huge. I'm going to say this. Would I let my child play at 6? I believe I would let my child play at 8. I think to me that's the earliest age I would let him start. I'd be like, okay, son, you're still young. Because let me say this, kids change their mind all the time on what they want to do. I was one of them. I wanted to do something different like every month. There was a phase I went through where I wanted to play football. I never did. But it was really good that my dad didn't let me. Because I really didn't know what I was asking. But I would probably let my son play at 8. Right? And if he were 6, I'd be like, okay, son, you're 6 right now. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get your body ready. We're going to take 2 years. We're going to get your body ready. So that way, when you get out there, you'll really be, you'll really stand out. Okay. Your risk of injury, your chance of injury will be lower. So, and we're going to make sure that this is something that you actually want to do. So that's probably what I would do. This is back in the article. Valletta said that there is a fear factor being created about kids playing football due to the added attention on the issue. The number one cause of concussions in children is riding bikes. You don't hear about legislation banning bicycle riding, he noted, arguing that targeting rules in the NCAA and NFL have trickled down to the youth level and made the sport safer. If you hit above the head, you actually get ejected from the game. That's changed the whole game of football. Valletta praised USA Football for having a development model for youth football that has been endorsed by the American Medical Association for Sports. He said the concerns about concussions are legitimate and that studies have show that repeated blows to the head have long-term negative effects. Now that's stuff we do know. But, I won't get into the whole concussion stuff. But I will say this, just like I talked about with the whole pre-diabetic thing, the obesity thing, parents, it is on you. It is on you to put your child on the best path to success that you possibly can. That is your job. Okay, your job is to do, research, stuff like that. Don't It is not up to politicians. It isn't. It's really disgusting. And I will say this: if you're a kid, and because some of my demographic, some of my audience, they are young. If you are trying to convince your parents to let you play football, what you need to do, don't give them emotion. Don't present emotion. Present facts. Okay, because the fact that you say, "Oh, I want to play football," that already shows emotion. It already shows desire. What you have to do is say, "Okay, Mom, Dad, I want to play football." You need to come prepared with statistics. Okay, find statistics on concussions, injuries and things like that. Here's the thing. There are many people who play football and they end up fine. But that's just the nature of things. Could you possibly get a concussion? Absolutely. Yes, it's possible. But that's what you need to do. You need to come armed with facts. Okay? And you do understand that your parents, and you can call this sexist here, but especially your mother will likely be against you playing football. Because you are her baby. She would do anything for you. She doesn't want to see you get hurt. She doesn't want to see you take a hit. She doesn't want to see you fall on the ground. She doesn't want to see any of that. So she will be concerned for you. Which is that's how mothers are wired. So what you have to do is you have to look at this and say, okay, let me give these facts and these facts and these facts. And try to be neutral in the facts. Don't give just one side, because it's going to show and it's going to weaken your argument. Because it's going to make you look like you're trying to deceive them. Okay, I would say this, parents, listen to your children. Do your own research. See why they want to play football. Just do some background information. Okay, and don't come to a rash decision. Don't just say yes you can play. Or don't just say, no, you're not going to play, it's too dangerous. Okay? That's not smart. Okay? Think about it. Talk about it. And when you do give your reasoning, whether it be yes or no, I should say this, let me phrase it this way. When you do reach your conclusion of yes or no, don't just give yes or no. Give reasons, especially if you say no. If you say no, give reasons why. And then try an alternative. Offer them, would you like to play this sport? Would you like to do this activity instead? Don't just say no. And also don't say because I said so. That is probably one of the worst things parents can ever say. That's just laziness. You don't have to, but you should give a reason, because it shows empathy with your kid and it shows, okay, these are the reasons why we are coming to this conclusion. And if you do say no, do give other, possibilities. Would you rather do this? 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 Just saying no and then that's the end of the conversation. Okay, now that's really not good. So that's really all I have today. And that's, seriously. But, anyway, I'm going to go back to my earliest point. It's not up to lawmakers. It's not up to them what you do with your family. The point of government is to be a frame. It's to be a frame. It's to be like a picture frame. And then you fill the picture. That's what it is. That's the whole point. And if we let the picture frame get into the picture, we're now ruining the picture, and the picture frame is now doing more than it's supposed to be doing.